Absolutely great, Rudy. 1-0 to you. No, 10-0, or even more. All right, then, what was it like? It was great, the way I shot off in front, especially when it didn't even occur to me I might win. But after the halfway mark, when I realized I had it in the can, I gave it a bit more and drove home with my first big prize. You bet, and I'm sure there'll be more of them. Nothing against that. The mid-engined Auto Union cars were unbeatable in hill climbing races. For example, the Kesselberg hill climbing race, where the racing car from the German Museum was presented to an interested audience on the occasion of an anniversary celebration in 1992. The German hill-climbing Grand Prix at Schauinsland was the other race in which the fans of the racing drivers were mainly adolescents. In 1937, the cars had twin wheels on the rear axles to transform more power to the road. Stuck proved once again that his nickname, King of the Mountains, was justified. Rosemeyer finished as runner-up. It was the fourth victory in a row on the same track for Auto Union. The road over the Alps was far more difficult. Here is the Auto Union team on the road to Pescara. The battles with its main rival Mercedes-Benz had become more intense. The racing cars from Untertürkheim now had more power and stamina, but Auto Union had not forgotten how to win. At the Coppa Acerbo, Auto Union cars alone filled 3 of the first 4 places. The race was won by Bernd Rosenmeier, followed by H.P. Müller and Luigi Fagioli. Bernd Rosenmeier describes an exciting incident.
Sie haben uns ja einen schönen Schrecken eingejagt.
We've just heard how your back wheel rolled into the pits 30 seconds before you drove in on 3 wheels. How did you manage to steer your car the last 250 meters without any mishap? It happened already 2 kilometers back. I was suddenly lying across the road and I skidded back onto a stone. Well, the wheel cap got such a nasty knock, it flew off in the opposite direction. And then, when I finally saw the pit in front of me, the wheel decided to do it on its own, even although I drove very carefully. So then I had to drive the last 300 meters on the brake drum. Wasn't it terribly difficult to get the car back on the road again? Well, I had a go at it too, and then it went as quick as lightning. Anyway, I had a rocket behind me. Caracciola was getting closer and closer. In October 1937, a race in the large automobile class was held for the first time at the Donington racing track. The circuit was treacherous. The race was the last to be held using the 750-kilogram formula, and it was the last victory for Bernd Rosemeyer, who again beat all the opposition. It was certainly worth losing a pair of trousers to gain this triumph. The surviving documents of the Auto Union Racing Department are kept in the Saxony State Archives in Dresden. The transport historian, Professor Dr. Peter Kirschberg, has studied these documents for many years and knows more about them than anybody else.
Die Erfolgsbilanz der Auto-Union in der Zeit der 750 Kilo.
The success of Auto Union in the era of the 750 kilogram formula, that is between 1934 and 37, was actually very impressive. A series of charts drawn by Eberhard Eberhorst shows the placings of German racing cars during this period. He chose the color green for Daimler-Benz and red for Auto Union. In terms of quality, the relationship between the two rivals can rightly be regarded as balanced. However, when it comes to quantity, it's obvious that Auto Union is well ahead. Whereas the Swabians were still in front with 12 victories in Grand Prix, compared to 7 by the team from Saxony, the picture was reversed in circuit races. Auto Union notched up 12 victories and Mercedes-Benz 10. The situation was clear-cut in hill-climbing races. 13 victories by Auto Union as against 1 for Daimler-Benz. The race successes clearly boosted sales. In 1938, 1 out of every 4 vehicles registered in Germany carried the 4 rings on the radiator grille. This had made Auto Union one of the largest vehicle groups in Germany. The record-breaking runs, which were very popular and had strong public appeal at the time, are a special chapter in themselves. During these years of automobile growth and maturation, record attempts were not only spectacular events, although the advertising effect was enormous, but also a prime opportunity to test a car's limits under real driving conditions, since there were hardly any facilities at that time for simulating these conditions. After his record-breaking run in March 1934, Stuck set further records, in particular in February 1935 near the Italian town of Lucca. In October 1937, a record-breaking week was held for the first time. Auto Union was extremely well prepared, and the week turned out to be a great success for the company. During the week, Rosemeyer was the first driver to exceed the 400 km/h barrier on a normal road. The streamlined body developed by Eberhard and Porsche's aerodynamics experts made a major contribution towards achieving such a high speed. The record set by Rosemeyer over 1 kilometer from a standing start was even more remarkable from a technical point of view, since it depended on maximum acceleration and thus primarily on the intuition of the driver in using the accelerator and knowing when to change gear. Auto Union was also represented at Mercedes-Benz' next record-breaking attempts on the 28th of January 1938.
Bei neuen Rekordversuchen auf der Frankfurter Autobahn tödlich verunglückt.
After the record-breaking run of 432 km/h by Caracciola in the morning, it was Rosemeyer's turn on the test track. Mathematically speaking, his car was capable of reaching a speed of 440 km/h, and in fact, he was 1 km/h faster than his rival on the outward run.
von dieser Fahrt.
However, on the return run, his car left the track and turned over, killing Bernd Rosemeyer instantly. After that, Auto Union never again took part in record-breaking runs. The D model was unveiled for the first time before the home public at the German Grand Prix on the 27th of July 1938. After the death of Rosemeyer, the Italian Tazio Nuvolari was signed up for the team. The opposition comprised a well-known phalanx of Mercedes drivers, Manfred von Brauchitsch, Rudolf Caracciola, Hermann Lang and the young Englishman Dick Seaman. The Auto Union team was again completed by Hans Stuck, Rudolf Hasser and H.P. Müller.
Der große Zweikampf ist entbrannt. Über 500 Kilometer, 22 Runden, 22 Mal sind die 174 Kurven des Nürburgringes zu durchfahren.
It was plain to see that Auto Union had fallen behind its competitors because work on developing a new car had started too late in Zwickau. Stuck and Nuvolari finished this race third and fourth, but they had no bearing on the final outcome.
Müller übergibt seinen Wagen an Nuvolari, der mit gespannten Kräften auf den Einsatz wartet. Hans Stuck hält.